Hey, what's up guys, Chris here, and in this video, we'll talk about what you should be focusing on over the next 2 weeks, with the Iron Giant Challenge dropping and secret book quests and the month end all coming up. And we'll also talk about this beauty here, which I know a lot of people are waiting for. But instead of doing like a full review of Lucia, we'll talk about the circumstances as a free-to-play or light spender and where you should be pulling or avoiding Lucia altogether. Also, we're getting a free ×10 summon with a guaranteed MR each day for the next 5 days, so make sure you don't forget to do this every day for the next 5 days. If you like the video, click that like and subscribe button below. We still have a ton of people watching the videos that haven't hit that subscribe button yet, so click that red subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and click that bell so you have notifications when we drop a new video. Anyway, intro out of the way, and let's drop right into the video. The number one priority this week for you should be finishing your monthly missions for those rainbow fragments and rainbow spheres. If you haven't done all your story missions or multi-quests yet, arena battles, guild donations, hard quests, as free to play, we can't afford to miss out on rainbow fragments and spheres, so make sure you wrap up all those quests here before month end. The next priority for me this week is the secret book training quests that we have going on right now, and we'll talk in a little bit about the Iron Giant and the golden armor, don't worry, but I'm focusing particularly on this quest for Ninja Blade accessory and armor books. We did have a full week to farm the brutal difficulty gear quest for the smart code and the golden helm, but with how difficult it was, how long it took to farm, and how hard it was to find good rooms in this for multi-quests, odds are you probably didn't get all the armor books you needed from that event. And that's why I'm prioritizing this armor book quest for this first week. You'll get armor books just about as fast as you would with the brutal quest, with the added bonus of accessory and ninja blade books as well. Remember, armor books are shared with all pieces of armor, so you'll need a lot more of these than you would other equipment books. The other added bonus here is that you'll get seals from these quests too, which are really hard to come by without spending tons of arena tokens. And lastly, you'll get tons of growth eggs for your vision cards from these quests. So by the end of these events, you really should have your top 5 or 6 vision cards at max level, whether that's 40 or 50 or 70 or whatever it is. As with all of these gear events, if you're able to be by your phone and manually run multi-quests, you definitely should do that. The drops in multi-quests are better than single player, slightly better than single player. However, with no double drops on story quests or anything like that going on, you definitely won't lose out on any value by adding a bunch of energy and just running these on auto repeat if you have to step away for a while. Again, armor books are so valuable that I'd be running this armor quest as much as you can while you can. And real quick on the Sleep Blade and Golden Axe quests, because those are still going here for the week. If you're going for a +4 or a +5 for either of these weapons, obviously you can prioritize these events, but personally, with all of the swords that have come out already, I'm completely ignoring the Sleep Blade altogether, and I'm perfectly fine with where my Golden Axe is right now. I would say if you run Yerma as a main, that's the only place I would run this Golden Axe quest over the books. And the Sleep Blade, I mean, if you run Whisper or Ramza in your team, you maybe could make the argument that it's worth it, but I just don't see it to be that much better than the current options, at least not enough to ignore the book quest while it's around. Okay, elephant in the room, or more appropriately, the Iron Giant in the room. The Iron Giant Challenge quest dropped this week and lets you farm more armor books and crafting mats for the golden armor. And let's get this out of the way right now. The golden armor is really good. It has slash attack resistance passive and high defense on the shield type, but there's 2 reasons why this goes on the back burner for me. And first is that the brutal quest is really difficult and it takes more time to farm, just like the previous brutal quest, so you'll have a hard time finding good multi-rooms for this quest. And secondly, you have 2 weeks on this event, so if you really want to go hard for the golden armor, you still have a full week after the armor book secret quest is over. So in terms of economy with your time, you're going to be better off farming the book quest while it's here and then moving over to the golden armor quest next week. Finally, I've had a few people comment on my last video about the 40 million gil stash I had. The auto repeat function has made getting gil so easy on weekends, so I'll probably mention this briefly every time I do one of these videos, but on Saturday or Sunday, you can just plug in your phone and pump large energy pots up to like 800 energy and just set the guild chamber on auto repeat. Basically, I just leave my phone or my iPad alone for the next 3 or 4 hours to collect gil, You can go run errands, you can do housework or whatever, and come back to about 10 to 15 million worth of gill turtles. Because if you're like me, and I know I am, I've got better stuff to do on weekends than sit at home on War of the Visions the entire time. At least this way you can be productive with your time while your account farms in the background. Finally, let's do a quick overview of the Lucia banner, which did not drop this week like expected, but it should drop next week. And should you be spending your visiore here as a free-to-play or light spender? And I think the good majority of these banners between events are what I like to call trap banners. I'm talking to you, Miranda. But this one you really should think hard about pulling on. The first thing to know about Lucia is that it's not a wind version of Fredericka. Whereas Fredericka is more of a sniper unit, Lucia is more of a shotgunner with shorter range AoE attacks and chaining attacks. So if you don't have Fredericka, don't think that you can just replace her by pulling for Lucia. Now, if you do have Fredericka, Lucia is borderline OP to pair her with. And keep in mind too that if you did get Orlandeau, Lucia's wind element, so she can break down Mont really quickly, which is what people are currently using to counter Orlandeau in PvP. So my advice here would be that if you have Fredericka or Orlandeau as one of your main characters, go ahead and pull for Lucia. Otherwise, I would probably save visiore for the future. For example, Venera, Warrior of Light, or the second run of Final Fantasy Tactics, all of which are coming up in the next couple of months. The last thing I would say on Lucia is that you shouldn't completely drain your coffers here. Make sure that you have enough visiore left to buy shards for her while she's around if you do pull her. This means that you probably need about 8,000 in reserve, and that's after pulling her. So just so you understand the risk involved here if you decide that you want to go for her. If you don't end up pulling her by the time you're down to about 8,000, I would say you need to cut your losses and just go back to hoarding. If you have less than 8,000 to start with, what are you doing? Just forget any banners for the time being and hoard for the next couple of months. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys know what I'm focusing on for the next week or two as a free-to-play player. Again, if you like the video, please click like below. If you're not subbed, subscribe. And thanks for watching.